Hello, my name is Jennifer Polian. I will be discussing empathy, its relation to the brain, and the neurodiverse effects of empathy with people on the autism spectrum. So, what exactly is empathy? According to Irene Harmsen, the word empathy has only been around for the last century and originates from the German word Einfühlung, which means feeling into. David Eagleman states to empathize with another person is to literally feel their pain. You run a compelling situation, what it would feel like if you were in that situation. One may try not to imitate the other person's facial expressions, but it is automatic. Eagleman explains this is a powerful trick for our brains to gain a better understanding of others. But why do we need empathy? This skill helps us to gain a better understanding of what someone is feeling as a predictor to what they may do or say. While researching empathy, Casey Borja Jimenez discovered people are highly selective in the voluntary control of effective empathy, boosting it when it benefits them, reducing it when it can be detrimental. This is where the fight or flight response comes into play. If we attempt to empathize with another's emotional pain, this may lead to increases in amygdala activity, which is responsible for perceptions of such emotions as anger, fear, and sadness. Casey Jimenez and her associates conducted an experiment wherein brain activity was monitored, while participants were encouraged to empathize with characters in Hollywood movies and asked them to detach from the characters and try not to empathize with them. She states, psychology literature has provided ample evidence that besides self-regulation emotions, people are highly selective in the voluntary control of effective empathy, boosting it when it benefits them and reducing it when it becomes detrimental. Empathy plays a large part in how people interact with each other. When a close friend of ours loses a loved one, we feel sadness along with them. We might cry if they cry. Pain affects in regards to empathy. The same regions of the brain are affected by empathy as with physical pain. Our extreme effort to be accepted socially by others is also what drives us to face pain. Eagleman states we can't help but stimulate others, connect with others, care about others, because we're hardwired to be social creatures. According to Irene Harmsen, a well-developed theory of mind helps us to solve conflicts, develop social skills, and protect other people's behavior. Since many individuals with ASD have difficulties assigning mental states to others, it has been said that they lack theory of mind capabilities. This lack of theory of mind emphasizes an ASD person's lack of empathy. After reading Adams' article, The Empathy Imbalance Hypothesis of Autism, I found that even though most researchers believe people with ASD lack empathy, they actually have a heightened capacity for emotional empathy. Smith also explains that there are two types of emotional empathy. He states direct emotional empathy is particularly relevant to sharing the basic emotions as happiness, fear, and anger. Indirect emotional empathy may involve basic emotions or more complex emotions such as guilt and shame. I have learned a great deal about autism since my 6-year-old son, is on the ASD and he is high functioning. I know for a fact that he experiences a heightened level of emotional empathy because there are certain Disney movies that he does not like to watch because they make him feel so sad. The basis of empathy revolves around pain. Eagleman states when you see another person suffer, you can try to tell yourself it's their issue, but not yours, but your neurons in your brain cannot tell the difference. According to Eagleman, if you were to watch someone else get stabbed with a knife, your own pain matrix would be activated. Our pain matrix is a network of areas of the brain that respond to pain. Our emotional experiences with pain also occur in the pain matrix of the brain. This is the basis of empathy and why we experience joy and sorrow at the expense of others. Being able to understand a child's ability to understand and display empathy is important as an educator. When an educator is able to notice changes in a child's ability to understand facial expressions and social cues, and when a child is lacking these skills, intervention may be needed. Their educators should be able to identify when a child is lacking the ability to experience empathy, and they may even be diagnosed as being on the ASD spectrum or have an empathy disorder. The most important takeaway regarding empathy is the ability to understand what it is, and it's completely out of our control. Whether we are watching a sad movie or listening to a close friend's story, we experience empathy. When we are empathetic, we are literally experiencing the brain. The brain responds to another person's pain in a literal way. When asked why we have this evolutionary point of view, Eagleman states, by gaining a better grasp of what someone's feeling, it gives a better prediction of what they'll do next. By being able to predict what other people will do, we are better in social interaction. Next time you experience back pain, grab your back and see if another will do the same.